My instant reaction to the Eagles and the Falcons game. The Falcons ended up winning 22-21. Before we get into this instant reaction, make sure to hit that like, subscribe button. The Inquisitive Mama podcast on YouTube. We drop daily sports content, clips, entertainment. Let's get right into it. So how about that Falcons win, right? What a win by the Atlanta Falcons, 22-21 on the road. The Eagles had this game in the bag. What were they doing? Why did they throw the ball on 3rd and 3? Hurts kind of rolls out, looks right, scans, finds Barkley. It's in Barkley's hands, and he drops the wide open pass. Saquon Barkley had a great game other than that miscue there. But in that situation there, you can't throw the ball. You have to run the ball. The Falcons had 0 timeouts. The Eagles were marching down the field. They had everything going in their favor. Falcons had 0 timeouts. Really wasn't going to be any time left, and they decided to throw the ball. They gave the Falcons ball back with like a minute 40 left, somewhere in that ballpark there. And then the Falcons decided, hey, we're going to take this ball. We've been playing pretty good all night long. We've been in the same game with you guys. You really haven't been, far off. And they go down, they march themselves down the field. They score the game-winning touchdown with 34 seconds left. Drake London kind of beats Slay. Slay's kind of looking at the quarterback. He's kind of biting a little bit. And then Kirk Cousins finds Drake London. They seal the win on the road. This Falcons offensive line is really good. I know they didn't have the greatest game against the Steelers in week 1, but this is a good Falcons offensive line. They've been building this offensive line for quite some time now. And let's talk about Bijon Robinson for the Falcons. He was sensational all night long. He was giving the Philadelphia Eagles problems day in and day out. They had no answer for him. It was ground and pound. Bijan Robinson is a special player, eighth pick out of Texas in the 2023 draft. This is his 2nd year. He is a special player. He's only going to get better. And also, too, for Falcons fans, I wouldn't panic. I wouldn't be that worried about, where do we think we're going to go this year? Or, well, actually, shouldn't say you panic, but because of the week 1 loss. But I think the Falcons can really give any team a run for their money. Now, I know they're going to play Kansas City this upcoming Sunday night, but they've got the pieces. As long as Kirk Cousins doesn't turn the ball over, I think they're going to be just fine. They're a little shaky at wide receiver. I know they have Drake London and Darnell Mooney, obviously Kyle Pitts at tight end, and Kirk Cousins is kind of slowly getting back into it. This is only week 2 with the Achilles injury now that he's coming off of. But, going into the rest of the season for the Falcons, I think they're going to be just fine. I really think they're going to be in a three-way tie for the NFC South with themselves, Falcons, Panthers, Bucks, Falcons, Bucks, and Saints. Those 3 teams there are going to be neck and neck for the NFC South. I had the Falcons winning the division to start the season. I still do. And man, I love Raheem Morris's defense. He's a defensive-minded guy, came over from the Rams. You saw what he did with the Rams defense. They add Justin Simmons in late in the offseason. They already have Justin Simmons. They add Matthew Judon late as well. I love this Falcons team. I love their defense, their tenacity, their grit. They were in that Falcons game, the entire Falcons-Eagles game, Monday night game, all night long. There was no miscues from them. It was a great game. But let's flip the script here to the Eagles. Let's talk a little bit about them. They didn't have A.J. Brown, of course. He was out with the hamstring injury. They still have Saquon Barkley. Hurts. Their offensive line is stacked. Jalen Hurts really, really put the team on his back tonight. But the Eagles' offensive line is still really good. I know they lost Jason Kelce this offseason from retirement, but man, I don't think their offensive line missed a beat. They looked great all night long. The Falcons really couldn't get any real pressure on Hurts. It's really hard because the Eagles do have a really good offensive line. The tush push is back. We all saw that. They ran that 2 or 3 times. They ran the anytime touchdown there with Hurts. He ran the tush push in, which is unfair. The Eagles' offensive line is still really good, but the Eagles' defense was very shaky at times. Obviously, they could not stop the run with Bijan Robinson, and the Falcons, they had a game plan there, and there really wasn't any real pass rush on Kirk Cousins from the Eagles' defense. I didn't see much. I only saw 1 sack from what I saw, maybe a few pressures, but nothing crazy to make Kirk Cousins get flustered. And if you can put pressure on Kirk Cousins, we know he's a total different quarterback, but the Eagles really could not do that Monday night, excuse me. Well, we are at Tuesday, but they could not get pressure on him, and it showed because the Falcons, in that last drive there at the end of the game when they got the ball back, they marched right down the field. And I want to stick here on that point real quickly. what were Vic Fangio and the Eagles, what were they doing there? Why are you playing prevent defense, a cover four, playing everybody back with that when they have that much time left on the clock? I understand that we don't want to get beat deep. I know that's the conservative way in the NFL, but you can't leave the middle of the field open like that. You can't leave post routes open like that. You can't leave a rookie Quinyon Mitchell one-on-one with Darnell Mooney when you know they're going for the post route. Like, you can't do that. I know you could have said you could say shoulda, woulda, coulda, but with that much time left, a minute 42, you've got to play your normal defense. You got to try to get pressure on Kirk Cousins there. And clearly they couldn't do that. They didn't do a safety blitz. They didn't throw a corner off the edge there. There was no pressure on Kirk Cousins in that last drive. And sticking on that last drive, they marched down the field. Darius Slay bid on that play and they won the game. But, overall, I thought it was a good game. But the Eagles, that was their game to win. They blew that game red-handed. That was their game. There was a lot of miscues in the end there, and I don't know how they lost the game. I really don't. And, given the Falcons a minute 42 left on the clock and you're kicking that field goal, you should have ran the ball. But overall, great game. Jalen Hurts, did his best as he could, putting the team on his back. Kirk Cousins had a good game. He had that, sensational drive in the end. Bijon Robinson was spectacular. I love that guy. But that's my instant reaction from the Eagles-Falcons game. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, comment button. We will be responding to comments. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're at 870 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken. So we're 130 from 1,000. Maybe we'll do a little giveaway when we hit 1,000. But make sure to hit that like, subscribe, comment button. If you guys want to see another reaction from two teams, let me know, and we'll be right on it. As always, we will see you guys in our next video. Let's go.